Hi, I'm Linton. This is the video for the carry case for the Ultimo case building system. I've got on my left the carry case that was built for the campaign. This is one of the first prototypes. So we'll be building a smaller version of this. In this video I've printed it in white and grey PETG. I've got the parts laid out in front of me here and some of the subframe components here in the grey. And then a couple of the accessories and the drawers and shelves just here on my right. So a couple of tools you'll need to get started is a pair of needle nose pliers, and if you haven't got your acrylic cut already, this NT cutter for acrylic sheets is really handy, and a steel ruler which you'll use to cut your acrylic panels if you haven't obviously already got them done. I've got two of the square 300 by 300s, and then that's for the front and the back, the door and the rear, and then the left and right sides in 150 by 300. So basically one of these cut in half. In this video I'll be making a 2x2 carry case, which will have a smaller drawer and a larger one as well, like this. So let's get started. I like to start with the left side and then build it on its end because it's easier to slot everything in, which is how I demonstrated to do it in the written instructions. So for that we'll need to grab a couple of the glide locks and the keys. So I've pre-installed a lot of the keys just to make this video a little bit quicker, but there is a piece included in the bonus files, which is like a little handle you can use to make installing your keys a little bit easier. So in a piece like this, which is the mount for the handle at the top, it's often easier to use the key tool because it sits in there perfectly and hooks onto the end of the key, making it just easier than using a pair of needle nose pliers. So yeah, we'll need to grab a couple of the keys, a couple of the glide locks. You'll see that I've got the keys, maybe this one. You'll see I've got the keys pre-installed, so that should make things a little bit easier. Alrighty, so we'll grab the, we'll start with this corner down the bottom here, which is going to mean you'll need the one with the cutout, which sits there. This is the corner piece, part F, I believe, and then the back corner, part E as well, which is the one where has these slots for the acrylic on all sides. And then we'll need the mid side B part, and we'll start by clicking those together. And the glide locks are easiest to use, like to install as you're doing it. And so they're also designed to be very slightly shorter than the span that they need to fit in. And that's because they have to sit, they have to be held in tension. So that means when I turn it, I need to push it, I'll just show you in the video here. You need to push it across and then turn the second lock. And what that does is it holds it really nice and tight. So when you pull against it, that part there is held really tight in tension and it can't come apart. So we'll add the next lock in here and our second corner piece. And again, pushing it down and turning it. And like I said, it's easiest to turn all your keys when you put them in initially, because when you're trying to fiddle around once the case is built, it's much more difficult. All right, also best to take note of what you're building, so the bottom, the top, the left and the right and the front and the back of the case, because some of these parts are relative to that. So, oh, and the other thing I should mention, oops, is that some of these parts you can put them in the wrong way. Like I have nearly done here. So in this case, I'm building this corner here. So I want to make sure that my back corner piece, the male and the female parts are in the correct direction, so that when I'm installing these other side pieces, they'll actually fit, they'll fit correctly. So that's better. So the easiest way to know that is you're generally building it in like a circular kind of fashion or motion. And so you have male going into female, male going into female in that direction. So this one has the male coming out and this one has the female coming in, which I'll show you there on the video. And now we'll start building these side pieces. So because we're building this side here, we need to grab 2 of these pieces. Sometimes they're going to be a bit tight. Now I'll put the pieces on the back. And at this point also we'll need to pop our subframe corners in. So we'll assemble the subframe corners. They just slot together pretty easily like that. The difference being there is a top and a bottom piece, and the difference between them is one has a male and one has a female. So that as you scale the case larger in this direction, you just add more of the mid pieces. Then you want to take note of the direction of these shelves. So the arrow, I suppose you could call it, needs to point down towards the bottom. So in my case, I'm building it like this, so I know that this is going to be the bottom, and therefore I want my arrows to point down. So I'll slot it in this way, like so, and same again for this side. And again, once you've got it at this point, turn the keys, because it's going to be much easier than trying to do it later. And as I mentioned, this key turning tool is going to make your life a lot easier. Lining up the first one is sometimes a bit of a hassle. There's markings on the inside rail here, and the center line of that key needs to line up with the line that's there indicating where the notch is. So once you've got that center line sorted, they should all turn clockwise as well, 90 degrees. So we'll get that in the right spot and turn it like that. And once you've got the first one in, the rest should turn pretty easily, just like I'm showing here. And then same again on the other side. So we'll line it up with that center line, turn it, and then turn the rest of the keys. Oops, just like that. And at this point, we want to slot our acrylic in. So I'm going to put my side panel in like this, and then we'll build the top end. So same thing we just did in reverse. Okay. Oop. Just like that, looks good. Push all that together. And again, turn your keys in the corners. And that's one side done. And now I like to build it by sitting it down on its side like this, and then building the remaining sides up. So again, we want to put our corner keys in because they're a bit of a hassle to try and put in later. Do that now. Because they're sitting right in the corner here, you might just need to turn. It's easiest to get the key in there and turn it first. So just like that. Just like that. That's all of our corners in. Now I just need to remind myself which is the front, which is the back. The front obviously has the cutout. Okay, and now we're going to build these top and bottom, front and back edges. So I'm using the part A's on the back here, and then we've got the pieces for, again, these are the ones dependent for the top and the bottom. So you want to have your locking switches at the top. So if I'm building my case like this, this is going to be my top. So I want to connect my top pieces in there like that. And as I mentioned, I've pre-installed the little switch as well. So, and then the bottom piece with the hinge, I'll put on the bottom. And again, as you go, you want to turn those keys. So same again, pull it up slightly, and that'll hold it really nice and tight, and then they should turn fairly easily. If you find you're struggling to turn them, just make sure you pull them against the bottom one that you've already installed, and then turn it, and you shouldn't have too much problem. Oh, I just realized I missed one of my corners in here. There we go. Again, needle nose pliers will make your life a lot easier getting those ones right in the corner. Okay, now at this stage we will need to slot in our first piece of the subframe, I believe, which is over here. And we'll need our filler panel. So I'll just actually, before I do that, I'll build the rest of these out so that we have the full height. Then we can pop the rest of those pieces in. Not those two, we need you. Like that. All right, now I've got my filler panels here that I've printed. You can also make these out of acrylic, or you can also replace them with some of the accessories that have the matching dimensions. So each of the files is named with their filler panel dimension size, and you can substitute that for the matching bottom and top hidden storage components or accessories. Now, grab all my filler panels here. So we've got, in the 2x2, there's only two sizes of filler panels. There's the one that goes in the center between the handle, and then the two that go at the top of the bottom. And then obviously one of the filler panels is taken up by the storage. So then there's just the last one left at the top. So I'll slot this bottom and top ones in. Like so. And then I'll grab the subframe piece, slots in like this. And again, as per the instructions, just make sure you've got the handle on your subframe facing in the right direction. Now, I've already put this in upside down. That is actually the top there, so this one needs to go here. Like that. And then the base, doesn't matter what direction that goes in. so. And again, at this point, where's my tool gone? Yep. Turn your keys. Let's see which direction this is pointing. So. And due to some of the tolerances that have been created in the files, you might just have to lift it like 0.5 millimeter so that it does turn properly. And then once it's in there, it'll kind of lock into place. There is a little bit of play, just through the nature of it being an interlocking system. Now what's next? We need to do the center panel for the top handle and the bottom storage, hidden storage, which I'm going to put in this direction, like so. And then we're going to put the second part of the handle in. So the pieces have like a little bevel, I suppose, on the edge. So each of those should sit opposing one another so that the handle then sits in between, which that sits in there like that. And you'll see you'll need to clip it out like that so that it's in its completed position. And again, turn them keys. Like that. That's all nice and tight, locked into place. Alrighty. Now, we need to also put in one key there. And one key here. Like that. And now it's the last bit to go. So we'll put our top piece in, like so. Drop our back panel in. Oops. Like this. And then at this point we can also include our subframe middle section. So again, just make sure you've got it facing in the right direction because it is easy to flip it the wrong way. So just check that your, I guess we'll call them arrows, are all pointing towards the base. So the base being where the hinges are. And we should be able to just clip it on like this. Like that. And then we've got to put these top two corners on, and we're nearly done. So we basically follow the same process we did at the beginning. So we'll grab our corners. Okay. And drop it in here. Oops. Like so. Again, just double checking you've got all of your arrows pointing downwards. That indicates the direction for the shelves to slot in. And that's now the majority of it complete. We just have to attach the door and put the shelves in. So for the door, I've pre-assembled these top and bottom pieces with the latch and the bottom hinge. So hopefully it's going to be fairly straightforward. Like that. Grab your last panel. Might have tackled this the wrong way. I think we would be best to do it like this. There we go. Now we slot the panel in. Like that. And then it's just a matter of inserting your hinge pins. So lay it on its back like this. And you'll note the shape of the head there. And one side is flat on the hinge pin. And then it's best to do this with some needle nose pliers just to pop them in. And there's a ridge on the top of the hinge pin which allows it to lock in. There we go. Like so. And then your switches can close and your door's locked, or open it. All done. Now we'll drop in our drawers. Nope. Backwards. That's it. And in this, on each of the shelves, there's a little cutout that you can install these metal pieces. I've used 0.6 millimeter white sign metal, sheet metal, and just cut it with a pair of tin snips to size. And that'll mean that your miniatures with their magnetic bases can attach on super easily. So that's the 2x2 carry case video. I'll just go through some of the features now. So in this one I've used I've installed the game organizer. So you've just got some card holders there, dice tokens. And then within the base is the hidden storage. So for the hinge of the hidden storage, because I haven't actually included instructions of how to make it because it's only 3 pieces, just use a piece of filament and you push that through the hole and then cut it and glue it on either side. And that's just a very simple mechanism to get that hinge working. And then we've got a dice tower here, just the little one, which slots onto the back and then rolls straight into the tray. Makes that nice and easy. And then I've just got some dice display trays in this one. Just was testing how they fit. There we go, all done. So if you've got any questions, you can join us on Discord. I'm available, and there's a few other people who've built it as well that can help out. Hopefully you liked it, and you can build your own cases alongside this video and the build guide written instructions. And yeah, thanks so much for backing the project, and look forward to seeing what you make.